pretty easy to tell if it's a hyperbola, ellipse, or parabola. However, when we're given an equation, it can be a little bit harder to tell. So we're going to talk about the steps that allow us to be able to find which one of those it is. So we are looking at a flow chart. So a flow chart is basically, or like a question tree, I don't know, whatever you want to call it. It basically takes us through some questions that you want to think through, and once you answer the question, it tells you kind of what you're looking for. So the first thing when you're looking at an equation is, are both terms being squared, meaning your x and your y? If your answer is no, then that means you have a parabola. If your answer is yes, then we have to continue going on. So our next question is, are the squared terms being subtracted? If your answer is yes, then we have a hyperbola. It's the only one that has the subtraction symbol in it. If your answer is no, then your last question that we're going to ask is, are the coefficients of the squared terms the same? If your answer is yes, we have a circle. And if your answer is no, we have an ellipse. And basically what this allows us to do is, once we start putting something in standard form, we know what we should end up with. So you kind of want to think about, what type of conic section do I have first before you start completing the square to put it in standard form. And it also tells us what we should identify, whether that be A's and B's, whether that be an R value if we have a circle. People to finish writing, and then we'll look at some examples. Alright. So, those are our steps. So if I'm looking at this first one, what's our first question that we ask? Yeah, are both terms being squared? So are both terms being squared there? So notice that we have just a y, which is not being squared. So what does it mean we have? A parabola. Okay. Now on our next one, are both terms being squared? Yeah. So we know we don't have a parabola. So then what's our next question? Are they? So what does that mean? We have a hyperbola. Okay. Next up, are both terms being squared?
Yeah.
Are they being subtracted this time? No. So then what's our last question? Are the coefficients the same? So are they the same? No. So what does that mean we have? An ellipse. Okay. And then on our last one, they're both squared. We're adding, and are the coefficients the same this time? Yes. So what do we have? Yes? We're okay with that. Alright, so I want you to try the next four on your own. Once you have an answer, you're going to check with your notes. Alright, so what's our first one? It's a circle, because they're being added. They're both squared, but they both have a 3 in front. What's our next one? It's a hyperbola. They are both squared, but we have subtraction there. What about the next one? It's an ellipse. They're both squared, and it's addition, but they have different leading coefficients. And then our last one, it's a parabola, because our y is not being squared. So if you were asked to identify what conic section you have, like this is all being asked of you. Okay, you don't have to do any other things. Like this one should be like preview points on the test. Yeah, hopefully so. All right. Any questions on that?